Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yes.
can.
Yes, I can.
Okay. I want you to turn off your videos and turn off your mics too.
Okay.
And your mics, please. Okay, so today, guys, as you noticed, I wrote it's a very important meeting because we will be talking about the project. Okay, we will talk about what exactly do I want you to do in the project. Okay, it's a very simple. Project, and it's a very simple concept that we're going to talk about. And we already took a hint about it, or we have an idea, little idea about it from our the first lesson that we took at the beginning of this trimester. Okay, I'm just admitting some people who are still okay. Okay, so everyone is here. Can you hear me? So we were talking, guys, about yes, we were talking about that. Today's session is about the project. The project today is about why ships don't sink. It has something to do, a part of it has something to do with the upthrust force that we took in the first lesson. Who can remind me of the meaning of upthrust force? Please raise your hand if you know the answer. What is the upthrust force? Yes, Omar.
Thrust force is a force that pushes things up.
Thank you. It's the force that will it makes water push things up. Thank you. Ruqayya, do you have a question or do you want to answer?
I wanted to answer, but
Okay. It's okay. So the upthrust force is the ability of water, guys, to push things up. And this will make things float on water. And this makes us ask a question. Why do some things float and some other things sink? Okay. The first thing has to do with the upthrust force, as I told you. Okay. It is what makes some of the things float is that the upthrust force is much stronger than the weight of the thing that is floating above it. And that makes me ask you another question. What is responsible of the weight of the things? Another force that we learned about this trimester too. There is another force that pulls things to the ground, which is responsible for the weight of the thing, not the mass of it, the weight of the thing. Okay, let Hannah Mohammed.
Gravity.
Gravity. Thank you very much. So now, if the thing that I want to float, for example, let's talk about the volleyball or any ball that is filled with air and the bowling ball. Okay, why do the bowling ball sink while the volleyball or the ball that is filled with air float? The first thing, guys, the first thing is that the upthrust force will be much stronger to push the volleyball above its surface. So this means that the weight of the volleyball is less than the upthrust force pushing the ball above the water. While in case of the bowling ball will be heavier than the upthrust force. The weight is much bigger than the upthrust force. This is why the water cannot hold the bowling ball above its surface. طيب عمر هشام, do you have a question?
No, miss.
Okay, Fairuz.
Yes, miss. But when I saw the video about the project, I found it like to do a magnet.
Okay.
To do a magnet.
No, dear. No. Fairuz, the project about the magnet is not your project, dear. That was something. It is an activity for your lesson, okay? But it's not the project. Okay. Okay. Yes. Sidra, do you have a question, dear? Sidra, do you have a question?
I don't understand. Yes, I don't understand.
You don't understand. Okay, Marwan.
Yes, miss. Shouldn't this session be about the quiz tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
Okay, Habiba.
No.
Habiba, do you have a question?
No.
Okay, there is another Habiba. The one that has a unicorn next to her name.
That's Karma.
Who's this? This is Karma?
I think.
Okay,
Yes.
Karma. Okay. So, Sidra, do you know what is the upthrust force, honey?
I don't understand it.
Yeah, do you know what is it? The upthrust force.
No.
Okay, it is something that we have learned about, Sidra. I don't know if you've watched the previous videos or not, but I want you to watch the previous videos before. And there is a video that specifically that I did at my home, showing you what is the upthrust force. The upthrust force, it is like the water trying to push against the thing that is above it. So this is why sometimes when you are swimming in a pool, you are floating above the water. Why are you floating above the water? This is because the water is trying to push you against itself. It's trying to push you back. The gravity is pulling you towards the ground while the upthrust force is pushing you back. Okay? This is a force related to the water. The upthrust force has the ability, it's the water's ability to push back against the thing that is floating on it. Okay? Fairuz, do you have a question?
Yes, miss, but I still didn't get it.
Okay. When you put, when I was doing the video about the force, I brought a bucket of water and I put a plate on it. Do you remember this? Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Okay. And the plate?
It did not sink.
It did not sink. Yes, it did not sink because the water is like pushing, or it's resisting the thing that is above it. It's resisting the plate that I put it on it. Okay, so it's like pushing it. The gravity is trying to pull it to the ground, but the water, the upthrust force, which is the water's resistance against the thing that is on it, is much bigger than the gravity force. That's why things float on the surface of the water. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah. Karma, do you have
now I got it.
Okay, dear. Karma, do you have a question? Okay. Okay.
Miss.
Yes.
Yes, Miss. I can't understand the project.
I'm talking, yeah, Karma. Okay. Still.
Miss, I can't.
Did you watch the videos, yeah, Karma, from the beginning of the trimester? Did you watch
videos?
Yes, the videos of the force lesson.
Yes.
And you still don't know what's the upthrust force? What is the upthrust force, ya Karma? Do you know, dear? Karma? Okay. So now, guys, I'm going to proceed with explaining the project. So one of the things that will make the ship not sink is that the upthrust force, which is
Miss,
the...
I know, but I can't understand the project. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about the project
Yeah,
yet,
Miss,
dear.
but I can understand the project.
You understand or you don't understand the project? You still don't understand the project? I will be explaining it right now. Okay? So we want to know why the ships don't sink. The first thing has to do is related to the upthrust force that we were just talking about. Okay? The second thing, guys, is something to do with how heavy or light the thing is. Okay? Why do you think we wear floaters when we go to a deep pool? Anyone knows? Floaters are filled with what? Yes, Omar.
Floaters are filled with the water upthrust force.
No. The floaters that we wear when we get inside a deep pool, they are filled with what, Ruqayya? Can you tell me?
Air.
Yes, air. طيب, Ruqayya, I want you to answer another question. Are you here, dear?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think the floaters that are filled with air float on the water? I want you to think about it. Which is heavier, the water or the air?
Well, I guess the water.
Yes, the water is much heavier than the air. And the air is much lighter than the water. That's why it floats on the surface of the water. And this is the second reason why ships don't sink. Ships, guys, the shape of the ship, the shape that we make the ship with, make it easier for the water to hold it. The upthrust force will be much bigger than the ship because of the shape of the ship. And I'm going to show you a video about it right now. Okay? This is the first thing. The second thing, that we fill the bottom of any ship with air to make it lighter than the water. Okay? Now I'm going to show you a video about the thing, the idea of why the ships float, so that it's easy for you to understand it more. Okay? So I want you to tell me if you can hear the video well. Okay? I'm going to play it again. Is it glitching, guys, or is it fine?
Fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's glitching.
It's glitching?
Yes,
Okay.
it's glitching.
Okay. 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 I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to repeat it. Okay.
You should, because I'm not saying anything.
Miss, can you raise the volume because I cannot hear a word.
Me too.
A word?
They're not saying anything.
And it's lagging.
They are not saying anything.
Yes, it was it's not, she wasn't saying anything. Okay.
It's lagging a little bit.
Hello again. The smart question today is, why can ships float?
Okay, can you hear it now?
Yes, Miss.
Okay.
Yes.
Why can ships float? And the clever answer, I will tell you now. Many of you have a toy boat, and since it's light and small, you may think that's the reason why it can float. But there are also quite large boats that have many people on board. They're quite heavy and float anyway. How this works, I will show you in an experiment, and it needs the following things: a bowl of water and a piece of modeling clay. First of all, form your modeling clay into a ball. Then put it gently in the water bowl, and it sinks to the bottom. Now you take out the modeling clay and form your ball into a plate. When you let go of it, it's also going to sink to the bottom of your bowl. But if you form it into a small boat, it floats. It's not about the weight, but obviously it's about the shape of an object, whether it is floating or not. The item must displace more water to the sides as it weighs. This is called displacement. If your ship is constructed like that, it can push away more water than its own weight, and therefore it can float and doesn't sink. Thanks for watching. Captain Nina is now going to build her own ship. I hope you enjoyed this clever answer. See you next time. Bye.
Okay, guys. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So she said something about displacement. Okay, let me explain for you what displacement is. There is a man, a scientist called Archimedes. Okay, this man discovered something that is called the displacement, and he discovered it in a very funny way. He was he wanted to take a normal bath like all the people, so he filled his bathtub with water till the end of the bathtub, and then he got inside the bathtub. He noticed that some of the water inside the bathtub spilled outside the bathtub. You know this, you are familiar with this, guys, right? When you fill a cup of water, for example, till its end, and then you put something inside this cup of water, you will find some of the water is spilling outside of the glass of water, right?
Yes.
Right, guys?
Yes.
Do you know why? Because the thing that you just put inside the glass of water, it has to make room for itself. Everything has to have its own room. So when you put, for example, a piece of clay, a modeling clay inside a glass of water, this modeling clay has to make a space or a room for itself. It's like what? It's like when, let's say, for example, Ruqayya, Ruby, Maya, Karma, Fayrouz, all of you girls are sitting next to each other, very close to each other. And then Maya, for example, or let's say Hannah wants to come and sit next to you. What will you do? Ruqayya, what will you do in order for Hannah to sit next to all of you?
Well, we're supposed to make her room. We're supposed to make her space.
Exactly. You will make a space for her, or you're making a room for her. This is exactly what displacement is. You have to make room in order for another thing to be added or to sit in this space that you made for her. She's displacing the place that you made room for her in order for her to sit down. Do you understand, guys? Huh?
I understand.
Okay, anyone has a problem? If you have a problem, please raise your hand and mute your...
I don't understand that much.
What?
I just understand a little bit.
Okay, again. Mohammed Wael, do you have a question?
Yes.
Yes.
Miss, I did not understand the disabled
displacement. Yes.
Displacement.
Okay. The displacement, dear, is, as I said, when all of the girls are sitting next to each other and there is no much room. Okay. So, and Hannah wants to come and sit next to them. What will they do? they will make a space for her in order for her to sit next to them. If you, Muhammad, for example, you have a glass of water, you filled the glass of water till its end with water, okay? And then you have like a small ball, and you put it inside the glass of water. What will happen to the water, ya Muhammad?
It will float.
Not the ball. Okay, let's take another example. If you have a piece of modeling clay, something that is heavy, and you will put it inside the glass of water, what will happen to the water? You filled the glass with water, okay? And then you dropped inside the glass something heavy. What will happen to the water? Some of the water will get out of the glass, right?
Yes.
Yes, this is displacement. The object that you dropped inside the glass displaced some of the water. This is why some of the water got outside of the glass of water.
Okay.
You still
understand now.
You understand now?
Yes.
Okay, Ruby, do you have a question? Ruby? No. Fairuz?
Yes, Miss.
Yes.
Miss, can I show you something?
Related to this?
Yeah, to the video that we saw.
Okay. What do you want to do? Show it to me.
Okay. I will open the camera. Can you hear me now?
Miss.
Okay, Miss, they are all busy. Before we started the session, I did this.
Yes. Yes. So this is the boat. Yes, this is the boat.
Yeah.
And because it's...
Miss, can you hear me?
Who's this? Yes,
Miss?
thank you. Thank you, Fairuz. Thank you.
Miss, I am wrong with my...
Ruby, do you have a question?
Okay.
But Miss, I just want to know what will we exactly do on the project?
Okay.
Like,
So in the project, yes, in the project, guys, in the project, I'm just explaining for you the concept so that it's easy for you guys to be able to do it, okay? The project is a PowerPoint, okay? What you're going to do is answer those questions, and by answering those questions, you will be collecting enough information about why ships don't sink, okay? When you answer those questions, you will know why ships don't sink. The first thing I want you to do in the PowerPoint is tell me who Archimedes is. He's the one who discovered the displacement. So I want you to tell me more information about him and how did he discover the concept of displacement, okay? What is displacement again? If you have a bucket or a bathtub, as what happened to him, you have a bathtub that is filled with water and he got inside the bathtub. When he got inside the bathtub, he noticed that some of the water spilled outside of the bathtub. This is because his own body is making room for himself to be inside the bathtub. So that's why it spilled a little of the water outside of the bathtub, okay? The second thing, the second question I want you to tell me is how is displacement and the upthrust force and the shape of the ship, all of those things, how does it help the ship to float on the water? So as you saw in the video, the shape of the ship is very important because this way it will be easier for the water to push it back with its upthrust force. But if the ship looks like a ball and with this amount of steel that the ship is made of, it will sink. The shape of the ship will make it easier for it to float because this way the water will be, it will be easy for the water to hold it above it. Fayrouz, do you have a question, dear?
No, Miss.
Okay, Karma, do you have a question?
Miss,
Huh? You're glitching very bad.
disconnecting me and connecting me.
I don't know. This is something to do with your connection. Guys, the rest
Miss,
of
you keep on.
No, I didn't disconnect you, honey. I did not disconnect you. It has to do with your connection. Guys, the rest of you, can you hear me well?
Yes.
Yes, Miss.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Miss.
Okay. Okay. So apparently there is something with your connection, Yakar. Omar, do you have a question?
Miss, we will take a picture of ourselves.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now. Ruby, do you have a question?
Are you just going to ask? Are you only going to answer the questions and
Yeah,
then the project
okay.
is?
You're going to answer the questions, but you're not going to just write the question and the answer below it. I'm giving you those questions so that you will be able to collect the information. How are you going to put it in the presentation, in the PowerPoint presentation? You're going to make a headline like, this is Archimedes, for example, and Archimedes is the scientist who discovered the whatever you're going to collect. Okay, so you will write like a headline, who is Archimedes, for example, and you're going to write all the information about Archimedes in this slide. I want you to add a picture of Archimedes. This will be an extra point for you. A picture in every slide, okay? How he discovered the concept of displacement. So in the next slide, you will write a headline, the concept of displacement. So you will write the incidents or what happened to Archimedes that made him realize the concept of displacement. You will write it in another slide, and if you add a picture to this slide, it will be perfect. Please mute your mics. Please mute your mics. Okay. The next thing is how do displacement, upthrust force, and the surface or the shape of the ship help it float? This is, you will know the information from the videos that I'm going to give to you guys. I'm going to give you like 3 videos talking about this subject, and of course you can Google the subject, and it will be easier for you to collect information about why the ships float on the water. So when you write, for example, you want to write about this information, you will write in the slide above the why ship doesn't, or why ship don't sink, and you will write all the information that you have collected, and you can add like a little picture next to it for the upthrust force, okay, for the concept of the upthrust force. Now, what about the pictures? You have an experiment. Did you see the video that I just showed you guys? Hey, Omar, did you see the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Did you see
Yes,
what the experiment that she? Yeah. Did you see the experiment that she did?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the experiment that I want you to do.
Open Google Chrome. Miss, with the Play-Doh?
Yes, with the Play-Doh. I want you to do it with the Play-Doh, or you can use an aluminum foil, the foil that your parents used in the kitchen. You can use this too. Okay. So if you have the modeling clay, which will be better, you will make a ball out of it first, and then put it in the water. You will find it sink. But if you make a ship out of it, you will find it float. This is the experiment that I want you guys to do. Okay.
Okay.
In order to take like a bonus mark, I want you to take a picture of every step you're doing in the experiment. Like, for example, you have the modeling clay and you have the bucket filled with water. This is the first picture. And then another, do you remember when we used to take pictures of everything we did in the science fair?
Yeah.
This is exactly what I want you to do. Take pictures of every step you're doing in the experiment, and I want you.
It worked yesterday.
Okay, I want you to do it, to put it or upload it in your PowerPoint as an evidence for your project. Okay, Yassine,
Okay.
I see you raising your hand.
Yes.
Yes, Yassine.
Was Archimedes the first one to bat?
What?
Was Archimedes the first one to bat?
No, honey, he wasn't. He was the first one to realize that some of the water fell out of the bathtub. Okay? Type. Because we're running out of time, Ruby, do you know now what should you do? Ruby?
Kind of. There are only like a little, like only the PowerPoint. I don't think it will be very good because I'm not very good like with computers.
It's okay.
But
It's okay, honey. You just have to go with all of the things that I gave you now. I will be uploading an animated video that I did specifically for you guys to show you how you will be graded. Okay? You just have to go by what I told you. I specified even the font you're going to write with. Okay? The Calibri font. Okay? I told you to use different colors. For example, the headline should be with a red, for example, and the body of the question should be in blue. So I want you to use different colors so that I can know which is the headline and which is the body of the project. Do you understand, dear?
yes.
Okay. Omar Hisham, are you still confused?
No, Miss.
Okay, Maya, do you have a question?
Yes.
Yes.
Is the experiment a part of the project?
Yes. And you have to upload pictures of yourself doing the experiment in the PowerPoint of the project. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Muhammad.
Miss,
Yes.
what is the due date?
May 28th. Okay?
Okay.
And if you please give me a chance to tell you, if you submitted your project before the due date, you will get bonus marks. Okay?
Okay.
It's better to submit it before the 28th of May. Okay?
Okay.
Fairuz.
Miss,
Yes.
I cannot understand the experiment that we saw now is a part of the project.
Yes, you're going to do it and take pictures of yourself doing it and upload it in the PowerPoint.
And also the magnet, doing the magnet.
No, the magnet, no. The magnet is an activity. If you don't want to do it, don't do it, okay? It's like optional. The activity is optional.
Okay.
This is the project, dear. Forget everything about the magnet now, okay?
Okay.
Habiba, do you have a question?
Yes.
Yes, dear.
Can you, Miss, will you put the rubric and
Yes.
this session
Yes.
video on Google Classroom?
Okay, dear. There is an animated video that I did that have all the questions and the rubric. Okay, I'm going to upload it on the Google Classroom for you guys to know exactly what to do. Okay? Okay, very good. Now, does anyone still confused or you don't understand the idea of the project?
No.
Okay, very good. So the thing is, again, let me just tell you, we still have like 5 minutes. I'm going to give you like a hint about the whole thing, okay? Now, I told you guys that, yes, so I told you guys that as long as that the upthrust force, which is the ability of water to hold the object is bigger than the object's weight, it's going to float. Okay? But if the object's weight is heavier than the upthrust force, it's going to what?
Don't sink.
It's going to sink, exactly. Yes. So how does this have to do with the displacement? It's the exact same concept. The displacement is related to what I just said, that if, for example, yes, Fayrouz.
I just like, so the magnet, I cannot understand. The magnet is not even a project.
No, the magnet is not a project. It's an activity. If you don't want to do it, do not do it. Okay?
Okay.
This is your project. This is your project. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
What about the boat?
Yusuf.
When you do the magnet, will you give us a bonus mark?
No. It's just an activity. It's ungraded. And if you noticed on the Google Classroom, it's ungraded. It does not have a grade. Okay? Okay. So please concentrate on this, please. Okay?
Are we gonna have an exam?
Yes, you're going to have an exam, ya Yusuf.
Miss,
Yes, Ruby.
the only thing I don't understand that much is the displacement. I don't understand what the displacement is.
Okay. So, honey, I want to ask you a question, okay? Now, I want you to get a glass of water. After we finish, I want you to do it, okay? Get a glass of water and put, I want you to fill it till its end, the glass of water. And put your own hand inside the glass. What will happen?
Some of the water will spill out.
Yes, some of the water will spill out. Why?
Because
yes, because your hand is making room for itself inside the glass. Okay, so when you put your hand inside the glass of water, it's like telling the water, get out of here. I need this room in order to put my hand. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So the water, now your hand is taking the place of the water. This is what displacement is. It's taking the place of the spilled water.
Oh.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so how is this related to the floating of the ships? As long as the ship is making room for itself and the amount of water that it displaced is more than its own weight, it will float. But if the amount of water around the ship is much more, it will make the ship sink. And this is what you will find out when you start to search more about the subject. It's very easy. You just have to pay attention. Okay, Ruby?
Okay.
Okay. Karma.
Miss, I'm gonna show you. Can I show you something?
Yes, we have less than 1 minute, dear. So do it quickly, please.
Okay. Miss, this is the only clay that I have.
Can you fold it? Can you shape it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I can shape it.
Just, yes.
But if I just add to it water.
Yes, you just have to make a ball out of it and put it in the water and then make
Is
a
it
boat.
good?
Yes, it's good. Okay? If you guys have any problem, because